relive the evolution of the dollar bill. For over 200 years, the US dollar bill has been the official currency of the United States. But how did it come to be? The history of the dollar bill is a fascinating one that spans several centuries. Welcome to Financial Ventures. In this video, we are going to take a journey through time to explore the fascinating history of dollar bills. If you love content like this, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you won't miss any of our life-changing videos. And now, let's get started with the currency during the New World. Before the advent of modern currency, early settlers and indigenous tribes relied on commodity money to trade with each other. This type of money consisted of items that held value and could be exchanged for goods and services. Some of the most popular commodities used as money were tobacco, beaver skins, and wampum. Let's cover the significance of all of these. Tobacco was a particularly valuable commodity as it was in high demand in Europe and could be easily grown in the New World. The early settlers quickly realized the potential of tobacco as a form of currency and began using it to trade with both other settlers and indigenous tribes. Beaver skins, however, were also highly valued as they could be used to make warm clothing and hats. They were in high demand in Europe, and early settlers quickly began trading them with indigenous tribes for other goods and services. Oh, so it turns out that beaver skins were once the hottest currency around. Who needs gold or cash when you can trade in fashionable fur? Wampum, which was made from shells, was another popular form of commodity money. It was particularly popular among the indigenous tribes who used it for trading and as a form of ceremonial gift giving. While commodity money was an effective means of trade in the early days of the New World, it was not without its drawbacks. The value of these commodities fluctuated depending on supply and demand, and it was often difficult to determine the exact value of the goods being traded. Nonetheless, it played a critical role in the development of early commerce in the New World and remains an important part of the history of currency. Spanish peso during the colonial period. You might be thinking, we're talking about the dollar bill history, not the Spanish peso. I know, but the history of the dollar bill can be traced back from the currency as well. At least, that's what historians say. So, during the colonial era, different currencies were used in the American colonies, reflecting the diverse influences of the European powers that controlled them. The Spanish peso, also known as the piece of eight, was the most widely accepted currency due to the significant trade and commerce conducted between the colonies and the Spanish Empire. This currency was made of silver and had a consistent weight and fineness, making it easily recognizable and trusted for use in transactions. Now, if you think that's it, paper money also emerged during the colonial era. The Massachusetts Bay Colony issued the earliest paper currency in 1690 to finance the costs of the ongoing war with France and to stimulate local trade. This new form of currency was initially met with skepticism and suspicion, but it eventually gained acceptance due to its convenience and ease of use. Other colonies followed Massachusetts' lead, and by the mid-18th century, paper money had become a common form of currency in the American colonies. However, the use of paper money was vulnerable to counterfeiting and inflation. Who knew there was inflation back in the colonial period? Let's go now to the relationship of the dollar sign and the Spanish peso. The peso was the most widely accepted currency during the colonial era, and its widespread use in the Americas led to its adoption as the basis of many national currencies, including the US dollar. However, the exact origins of the dollar sign are unclear, but one theory suggests that it evolved from a handwritten abbreviation of peso in old Spanish documents. The abbreviation considered of as a capital P with a vertical line through it, followed by an S written on top of the P. Although this is the most accepted theory, others beg to differ. They claim that the origin of the word dollar can be traced back to the Kingdom of Bohemia, a region of the present-day Czech Republic. In 1519, the Bohemian Kingdom began issuing a silver coin called the Joachimsthaler, named after the town of Joachimsthal where it was first minted. The coin gained widespread popularity and became a common currency across Europe, earning the name thaler. But even if this is true, this abbreviation became more stylized and transformed into the recognizable symbol we know today. As of this moment, the dollar sign has become an iconic symbol of the US currency and is used around the world to represent the American economy and financial system. But wait, this is not the end of the story. We still have to discuss the Continental Bills. The Continental Bills were issued by the Continental Congress to fund the Revolutionary War. The bills were not backed by any precious metal or other valuable commodity, and their value was solely based on the faith and credit of the Continental Congress. This made them vulnerable to inflation, and their value rapidly declined as more and more were printed to pay for the war effort. As the war came to a close, it became clear that the Continental Bills were effectively worthless. Merchants refused to accept them, and soldiers were often paid in goods or other forms of currency. This led to a crisis of confidence in the newly formed United States, as there was no stable national currency to facilitate trade and commerce. In response to this, the Continental Congress decided to establish the dollar as the official currency of the United States in 1785, with 100 cents to each dollar. However, it took nearly 80 years for the US Treasury to print paper money with the dollar denomination. During this time, coins minted in silver and gold served as the primary form of US currency, with foreign coins also in circulation. The first US dollar bills were issued in 1862 during the Civil War to finance the Union's military operations. These bills featured a portrait of Secretary of the Treasury Salmon P. Chase and the phrase, "In God We Trust." They were known as greenbacks because of their distinctive green ink. The US dollar became the backbone of the American economy, and its stability helped to ensure the long-term success of the new nation. Yes, the Continental Bills played an important role in funding the Revolutionary War. But their worthlessness after the war ended highlighted the need for a stable national currency. The creation of the US dollar provided that stability and has been a key factor in the success of the United States as a global economic power. With all of that, the journey of the dollar bill is a story of innovation, war, and economic policy. Despite the challenges and complexities that arose in the process, the US dollar remains one of the world's most widely used and trusted currencies. What do you think about this history? Is there something that I missed? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for sticking until the end. See you in the next video, and always keep in mind that in your life's adventures, it's better with financial ventures.